too much work. If you ask me.
Be a good meeting.
But we'll come back to 1600.
Okay, check in.
What's up?
Would everyone please stand for Pledge of Allegiance, remain standing for short demonstration.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, as we gather this evening, we ask you for your strength, courage, and wisdom. We thank you for this wonderful town that we live in and the privilege that it is to serve in it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Call to order the July 18th meeting of the Mooresville Town Council. Gentlemen have had a chance to read the minutes from a previous meeting. I need a motion to either approve or amend.
Make the motion we approve the minutes as written.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained. Josh Gregg, 301, or 302. Next item on the agenda is the confirmatory resolution for the Ascension Group on real property, and this is the abatement on a second. We did one at our last meeting. This is on a second improvement, real property improvement that they're doing. Gentlemen had it. Oh, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak either for or against the resolution declaring this area a redevelopment area? I need a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Greg, Josh, 5-0. Now I need a motion to approve or deny confirmatory resolution 17-2023.
Motion to approve confirmatory resolution number 17-2023.
Motion been made. Do I have a second? Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Greg, Josh, 5-0. Next item on the agenda is the salary ordinance amendment. Oh. Hearing. That's all. Had to close the public hearing. Greg, Josh, 5-0. Wait, well, they did, and it was the same vote. Thank you, Greg. This was the salary ordinance amendment that we had had our first reading at our last meeting. This was bringing the probationary pay for the fire department up to and equal to the price difference or the dollar amount difference that is in the police department. This is something that had been overlooked in the past, and this council had decided to try to repair that. I need a motion, like I said, this is the second reading. I need a motion to either amend or approve the ordinance 7-2023, amending the salary ordinance.
Make the motion we approve the salary ordinance 7-2023, amending salary ordinance 9-2022.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Josh Gregg, 5. Do you have that? public hearing on the additional appropriation ordinance 8, 2023. Gentlemen, at our last meeting, we'd asked that legal counsel prepare this for the Monroe Street project. There were items that were not covered with the Community Crossings Matching Grant Funds, and that includes up to and including the easements and right-of-ways that we needed. We had enough to pay the first right-of-way through budgeted money out of the Riverboat Fund that we had budgeted to cover in the event that we had received a full $1 million grant from Community Crossings Matching Grant. This dollar amount is $250,000 out of the Riverboat Reserve for capital improvements. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the public? Am I not speaking loud enough? I apologize.
Any one of those devices.
We have some earphones, if you were. Do what? Don't sit by him. I'm very sorry about that. This is a public hearing for that additional appropriation. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak either for or against the additional appropriation? I need a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Greg Jeff, 5-0.
You don't have to suspend the rules because you had a public hearing.
Okay.
So you can take action anytime after a public hearing.
Okay. We can pass this on the first reading. That would put the money in there. I think, Dave, the project is rolling along, correct?
Correct. I signed the notice to proceed this week.
I need a motion to either approve or deny ordinance 8, 2023.
Motion to approve ordinance 8, 2023.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Greg Josh, 5-0. Next item on the agenda is the Resolution 18, 2023. This is declaring certain properties within the Parks Department as surplus. These are the 3 lawnmowers. Have we got the new ones yet?
Not yet. They were on order. They should have been received. Tom Wood Outdoor Equipment this week. We should be receiving them as early as this Friday. They need to do the final assembly, and then they'll pack it up on a trailer and send it up our way. So hopefully it'll be later next week at the very latest. So the equipment is currently right now with the season of throwing, we're kind of in that stagnant stage, so we're actually paused in mowing. Our equipment's being cleaned as we speak, and we'll be ready for evaluations and sale. That's the resolution this evening.
Any questions of Phil? I think he laid this out pretty well with when we made the decision to purchase the new equipment. I need a motion to approve or deny Resolution 18, 2023.
Make the motion, we approve Resolution 18-2023.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Dane, was that you?
Yep, that was him.
You just say it at the same time?
Not you.
Okay.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Dane, 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the event coordinator, Regina Shelby. I always want to say Selby. I'm sorry. That's the
Not the only person that's ever done that. Not at all. Okay, guys, so I sent an email to all of you on Friday. I hope everybody received that. I also gave everybody a copy of what I sent to you this evening as well. To just point out some different things. I know last time we talked to you guys said that you'd like to have some options as to the different things that we could do for this person. I hope that I've given a good description of the options as far as it being a town position or a nonprofit organization or a independent contractor.
comments or questions?
Ever think about what else you were gonna do to encompass the whole town?
Yes, so I did a little bit of research on some of the other, I know a couple of the agencies that are out there, so I did a little bit of research on the other businesses, and there's always things that we can do with the larger corporations to come into town and kind of speak to us, promote to our residents, for job hiring, job fairs, things like that. It's always a good idea to the bigger places like that to maybe do a job fair for all of them, just for the localized businesses. I think that would be a huge help to our residents. And then also including them, in sponsorships or, anything like that we can do to get more advertisement out there that we do have more businesses than just localized in town. I'm surprised you guys don't have any questions.
Really believe there's enough to keep you busy here in town?
Yes. This isn't going to be limited to only street fair style events.
Right.
I know when we first talked about this last December, I had given you guys a list of kind of some options that we have, but this can also include stuff like job fairs, include stuff like having community meetings for residents that need to learn, like our senior residents that want to learn more in technology, having different meetings for different reasons, for different portions of the community. So our veterans in the community, maybe an outreach program for them so that they can learn where they can get, better health care or mental health care or anything like that. Things that people don't usually get on a daily basis or don't know where to start for. Basically stuff like that. We can have different events for different holidays, specifically seen with the street fair. And I hope everybody understands that. This isn't about having a street fair every month.
Yeah.
And also in this plan that I sent you guys, I would like to try to work in some other things. I'm already working on the banners for town. I have to work that into the position as well. Kind of give Dave a breather from having to deal with the banners. Also, community calendar. I think a community calendar would be really great for the whole town, where we can put all the events that are happening, maybe the meetings that are happening, things that the public want to get interested in that maybe they don't see on a regular basis. To be able to put that community calendar out every month or even annually would be really great. And then doing, street closure permits. So for me, when I first started coming to you guys and asking you guys about street closures, it was really kind of confusing. I know I stumbled a couple times. I didn't get the signatures first, or I didn't have the right permit, so it can be very confusing for somebody that wants to have an event and have a street closure, wants to have a parade and has a street closure, to not know what the process is. So to have that in one office where we can explain that to them, and then also that office gain the signatures for the closures from the department heads. Not only does that kind of save the department heads time and not having to, interrupt their day, but then it also gives the community member that's looking for that a better idea of how this process is going to go.
A rough estimate, like that event you just had, what do you think it brought in, and what do you think it cost the town of Mooresville to host it, to help with everything?
Okay, so it cost about $2,000 to host an event. For me right now, it's just a little bit more because I have to pay for individual insurance. So I carry an insurance policy for the town of Mooresville when I have each event. Each event is about $2,000 for a street fair. As far as bringing in money for the vendor fees and so on and so forth, you're looking at about $5,000 per event. And then you're also looking at the food and beverage and the sales tax that it brings in for each event that we have when more people in town and spending money. So everybody that comes into town and spends money at Ralph and Avid's or spends money at Grace Hollow, that's bringing in more tax dollars for the town of Mooresville as well.
I still think this falls under like the Parks Department, and they do the activities, not us. I told you that once. That's kind of where I still stand. Appreciate everything you do, but that's
And
and I still think it falls under the parks.
My biggest argument with that is that if it stays as a park position, then it would be limited to only events happening in the park. So the park isn't going to want to host the fundraiser for the police department that I just finished, or the fundraiser for the fire department that I'm currently working on, or anything outside of the park areas. There's so many other areas that we can do things like downtown Mooresville. I know that can kind of connect with Bicentennial Park, but we also have Southbridge Crossing. That's a huge area that we can use for a lot of things that we do that the park isn't going to use that for. I absolutely agree. The park does,
Yeah, and the direction he's going, I mean,
No,
we don't know what's going to happen.
I absolutely agree.
And,
For the park,
I mean,
he's picking it up and
Yeah.
he's going to do a lot of stuff, which is really great.
Jeffrey?
I mean, looking at our options, I mean, I like option 3 the most. I don't think we can commit $100,000 up front and then $50,000 a year for the next 4 years. That's a lot of money to me. So I don't know if we pick certain events and we can hire you. If you start your company or whatever you start, that would be my opinion.
Kane?
You know what I think, but
You're not going to hurt my feelings.
well, I'm going to be out.
Just let it out.
I'm probably outnumbered. So, I kind of agree. I think the best shot to get something done would be to do the independent contractor route. I'd like to see something done with maybe offering you office space that's in here, work with you on some things like that. And maybe negotiate some kind of contract where you know exactly what we pay you per event. I know, like with the consultant for the redevelopment commission, that she's getting a lot of money for 11 hours a week committed through a contract position, and she gets office space. So if you're here doing something for the town, I think that might work, I'm outnumbered anyway.
I think that's another good source too, is a Chamber of Commerce. They used to reach out to these businesses. That's somewhat another step to try to bug in their ear.
I think with your energy, and I admire that. I think you could go the independent contractor route and not limit yourself to our town.
So the issue that I see with the independent contractor, and I'm just being honest, and please, this isn't anything negative towards any of you, is I actually don't see you guys hiring me to do any kind of event for the town. I mean, there's been street fairs, there's been Victorian Christmas, there's been many things that have gone on in the town for a long time that the town actually hasn't contributed to or provided for the town. So I just feel like the independent contractor, one, is gonna cost you more money in the long run because it's gonna be a price per event. And also I don't feel like there's gonna be a whole lot of want for me to do things for the town that I'm not planning on my own.
I may not have been real clear. My thought was to enter in a contract negotiation for however many events for however many dollars.
That's set up front.
That's set up front, so the town knows what it's getting and you know what you're committed to
Okay.
with the town. I also think if you do this as a town, you would be it would be like a trial run for a contract. You know, you would be the exclusive liaison for Mooresville's property, Mooresville's commitment with street department personnel or fire and safety and all of that. So I don't know about the insurance, and maybe that could be negotiated. I don't know, but that's how I would do it. That was what I was trying to say. I probably didn't say it very well. So it's a little bit more than just you're on your own with me. I was trying to come up with some kind of hybrid situation.
I mean, if I can be totally honest, I think honestly the cheapest route for the town of Mooresville is just to make it a position for the town of Mooresville. Now I understand that a benefits package comes with that and so on and so forth, which is why I picked a lower end on what I was asking as far as salary. Now obviously with any job that anybody asks for, salary is going to be negotiable and it's going to be something that's going to have to be discussed. I'm not saying that there's not any wiggle room there. And as far as the NPO, there is also a little bit of wiggle room there as far as how much I would ask for a nonprofit organization every year. And that's up for negotiation. But I really feel like that as far as the town of Mooresville goes, the cheapest route for the town is to create a position for the town. Because then you're gaining. So if you do it as an independent contractor, I'm going to gain more than the town does, financially. If we do it as a nonprofit organization, the nonprofit organization is going to gain more than the town does financially. If you do this as a town position, then the town is gaining 100% financially, minus the cost of what it is to employees. Now, as I spoke before, when I first talked to you guys, if I only do 2 events per month for an entire year, that's $120,000. Maybe. Not to mention, we're also adding into the food and beverage tax and the sales tax and the other things that come along with having people come into town and spend their money. So in the beginning, when I told you guys that this is a self-sustaining position, I truly believe that this is a self-sustaining position.
Further comments? Regina, I think you laid out 3 options for us, and I think you got the opinion of the council, and I don't know if you want to put something together as far as a contractor put together a business. I think that's what the direction that this council is giving you to go.
For a full-time position?
Yes. Like I just, like a definite, no, this is not going to happen.
Does anyone on the council want to make a motion that at this time we do not want this to be a full-time position? I think that's what each and every one of you expressed individually. Collectively, she's wanting a vote on that.
My motion would be to move forward with a contract situation entered into by the town, but negotiated by the attorney and you. That's how I would,
I do that too.
that's how I would do it.
Get a request for proposal, how do we?
Because it's a service, you can contract for services however you deem necessary, so it's not a good.
I guess what she's wanting first is a motion on, not having a full-time and not making it a full-time position. Is that correct?
I made my motion.
Okay. And the motion is, say it again, Shane?
To enter into a negotiation for a contract situation between her and the attorney and present that for a final vote. And earlier I laid out some of the some of the contents that you could consider, so that would remain the same.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Josh? What's that?
That's no,
Oh, wait, hold on here. Shane, Greg,
opposed.
so the motion is
I'm not in favor.
Shane. Motion was made by Shane, seconded by Greg, all in favor?
Aye.
Shane, Greg, I'm opposed, well, 3 opposed.
I'm a no.
Aye. Okay, and you're a no. So the vote is Shane, Greg, and then 3-2. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Matt?
Matt, you came before us last meeting, that there was 2 of us, or 2 members were not present. I don't know if you wanted to go over your presentation for them.
And, the past 2 meetings, Assistant Chief Russell and myself proposed a lateral transfer for patrol firefighters. With that being said, we're just trying to get creative what we are working with our salaries, our vacation, sick time, longevity, stuff like that. With that being said, we looked at different departments that are neighboring departments and stuff like that. A lot of departments are doing whatever just to kind of get creative to get qualified personnel in to basically serve their community. And all we are doing, if you remember, about 2021, I presented about a 3 or 4 page lateral proposal. It was tabled, and then this year we started working on it again and made it into a 1-page lateral proposal. Do you guys have the lateral proposal from previous, it looks like? Yeah. So, with that being said, I know in the last council meeting, I think it was Josh and Greg was wanting to know about, maybe even you, Tom, I'm not sure. Chief Buckner did come up with a lateral proposal on his end. He is actually with his daughter tonight in college. And he asked me to kind of talk about it. Oops, sorry about that. He kind of asked me to talk about it a little bit. They are the same, with one exception with his. He's taking off the longevity proposal. That with doing this lateral proposal for either fire or police, now it can be public public safety, lateral transfers. This, would give basically the police and the fire the ability to get qualified candidates that are already eligible and educated and trained to start working our streets.
Since you presented for the chief of police, can we ask you a question about the chief of police? Or would you rather, what was his rationale on the longevity pay, do you know?
Longevity pay,
Like, why didn't he include it, but you did?
so longevity for me, I can explain for myself. Longevity for myself, it was just basically starting something and trying to come up with a solution or to get something to where we can agree on and get somebody here to work with us. As far as why he did not include the longevity, I'm not 100% sure. I can't answer that question. I know with the last meeting, after hearing some of the concerns with Tom, I think Josh brought it up, and I know even Councilman Cook brought it up a little bit with me. I understand the longevity of it. They work with us, or work for the town. It comes with being that 20-year veteran, or however it is, how they do on their pay scale. I can't answer why he didn't do it. I didn't want to change what I've already proposed just to not really make things a little bit weird. So I kind of left things alone as it is right now. And I'm open for suggestions and I'm open for comments.
Did you start a process since our last meeting?
I have not, because I kind of wanted to wait for the salary ordinance, and then if this was going to get passed or not, I kind of wanted to wait a little bit to see what happened tonight. But I have not started.
And how long does the process take?
It usually takes about 2 to 3 months. The time the background checks, the testing, interviews. And with, I think when Chief Russell was up here, it was your guys' kind of a recommendation that you would like to see the laterals go through our first board, which is good. It was just one of those things I was looking at as a budget option of we can take a lateral without doing it. That's one of those, you oversee us as our safety board, and I'm okay with moving that forward and pushing that through as a perk when we do laterals and send them through their first evaluations.
But question, do they currently don't get the holiday time up front?
They do not get holiday time right up front. They don't get that until they're 6 months into it. They get the 40 hours.
But they do get personal days up front, 3 days?
I believe they don't get that until 6 months also into that. Do you remember?
Holidays is right up front.
Right up
Right
front.
up front.
That's kind of what I read.
You talking holidays or vacation days? I know personal days you said are up front.
Right.
That's 3, right?
Vacation days they don't get until they're 6 months. That's the 40 hours.
Same as the sick days, however,
Same as sick
the holiday time, are you sure they don't get that up front?
They get that up front as whatever is left in the year.
So you're really not changing anything with that. Because they're still getting the remaining days.
Correct.
My only concern is the longevity pay. That's my biggest concern. You got people here 10, 15 years, and Tom made a good point last meeting that, in 23, that was intended to motivate to keep our current employees. So that's one of the things that I disagree with having the longevity pay.
About the same way, if you get a new hire, that comes in, then a lateral transfer would kind of jump over him on the longevity pay.
Joel, does this have to be approved by police commission for the police department, or is it strictly town?
Well, are you talking about
The,
the fire
No.
lateral or
the police, does it have to be approved by police commission, or is it strictly a town policy?
No, this is gonna be a town policy because this is the police commission has the responsibilities for making the rules of the operation of the police
Okay,
department. Hiring and the funding of it comes to you guys.
okay, I just wanted to make sure.
So with hearing that, if I may, add that. I basically took the police and fire and combined it into basically 2 pages and took the longevity completely out of it. Jewelry.
Yeah, I think I should.
Again, all I'm doing is trying, and even Chief Carey Buckley is trying to be creative with what we are working with to entice new people coming to our town to serve our communities.
With PERF, as members of PERF, we have the unpolitically correct permission to age-based discriminate on hiring. It's not set by us, it's set by the state of Indiana. You have to be 20 years of service at, Jeff helped me out here, 53 years, I think. 53 years old and 20 years service?
52?
52?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can say at 35 years old, you're just too old for the process.
They've actually raised that this year.
37, 40, okay, so we can say that. Are you going to set a limit on that, on the lateral transfer? I know you don't have to, but are you going to?
We don't have to, and I really wasn't planning on
Okay.
setting a limit. I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest with you. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it.
Okay,
I know that they changed that statute this year to 40. They raised it from 36 to 40 this year.
because everyone's fighting the same battles.
Because everybody's like the same
I
amount.
still say that this is a great town, great community. I love everyone that works here for the town. The salary, I think we made a great stride tonight on correcting something that was wrong, that we just had never been pointed out before. And obviously we had overlooked it. Every time that we had approved a salary ordinance, because I went back several years and there had always been that $3,000 difference there. The vacation days and the sick time, if a guy's sick, I don't want him at work. If a lady's sick, if an employee's sick, we don't want them at work. But the vacation time, I would think that if you had a new hire here, I always believe that the reason you didn't give them vacation time right off the bat was you wanted their undivided attention to be able to teach them how you wanted them to work for the town of Mooresville, at least for the first 6 months. The holiday pay, I think that takes care of itself. The seniority, obviously, your plan says that's not going to count into it, and we appreciate that. I know you made the comment that the last process you had 29 applicants and 17 qualified and 3 showed up or 3 didn't show up and they didn't have their paperwork. But you also didn't start another process. I don't know if we're holding out for one person, one individual. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why we wouldn't have started the process sooner. Do you believe that this is going to make an amazing difference in the number of applicants, or is there one specific person that we're eyeing right now?
Right now, that's that unknown question to answer. I can't answer that. We may approve this tonight and we don't get anybody, even for us or the police.
I think Terry's done a pretty good job as far as grabbing people from other departments. I think the last couple have been, am I right, Jeff?
Yeah, I believe so.
Some of them just wanted the small town. I think some of them were tired of dodging bullets. Comments or questions from the council?
Regardless, I think we need to start with the process and it's 2 to 3 months. We're spending a lot of time going over this lateral and not getting applicants. So I really think it's very important we start that process.
One person may be out there.
Right. We don't know.